Alright, guys, welcome back to Reality Tech. I'm J Law, and once again we have on Taj.
Hey guys,
And now, I wanted
I'm
to.
gonna get cut off by J Law because
Hey,
he
you
decides he
said
doesn't.
and stayed silent for like 1 or 2 seconds.
Because I have to think about what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say hello before I was so rudely interrupted.
Hey, I didn't want you to look slow.
I always look slow. What?
You said, stop talking.
Oh my gosh, you're terrible. Continue.
But as I was saying in the description for the first episode, I wanted to address two things about Samsung that I left out. We're going to add a third thing to that, though. But first off, I got OIS mixed up with optical zoom. And what I was explaining to Taj was how optical zoom worked. Now, optical image stabilization is is what brings the feature video stabilization in the hardware sense. So you know how you have shaky video, right?
Right.
Naturally, as you're recording and you're moving. Okay, so with optical image stabilization, when you turn on the feature video stabilization in the camera app, it's gonna look more natural, and at the same time, it's going to heavily reduce motion blur and shaking and all that as you're recording. Because I believe they used to do that digitally at one point. It wasn't as smooth, but yeah.
I got
I
you.
felt a
Yep.
little embarrassed after getting that mixed up, listening back to it. And that was because I was a little excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The FE just took me by surprise. I didn't expect them to come through that way. And speaking on that, Taj actually got in my head, and I was actually considering it. But the biggest problem with me doing that was the amount of cases I have. Guys, you will not believe how many cases
This
I
man
have
has
for this
like
thing.
20 cases.
Okay.
He's got a case for every day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I feel like
afraid-
Spider-Man on Monday, you know? The plane blue on Tuesday.
I'm afraid to admit he's literally right about that. I can change out my case every day of the week.
Oh my gosh.
So 4 of them are the smart covers that Samsung was promoting last year. You know, with the MCU at its highest point. So like 2 of them are Spider-Man. One is just a regular Spider-Man. One is Far From Home. And the other 2 are Iron Man and Captain America. And then I have the black OtterBox case that came with like a belt clip.
Every time you say that,
that I
I
got
always
from the
think
store.
Autobot. It just
How?
clicks in my head. Autobot.
Transformers is
When
the
did you
last
care?
thing on my-
When did you start caring about Transformers? I mean, I know it's a personal favorite of mine.
Wait.
When did you
I
start
grew up
caring
with that.
about?
Transformers Robots in Disguise. That was the cartoon to watch.
Oop, I was talking about the live action, but whatever.
Oh no, sir. Michael Bay? No. Yeah, the OtterBox that I bought with the phone from the T-Mobile store. And I just ordered in a new OtterBox that came in like last week or week before last. So I decided until...
Oh, man. Why does one man need this many cases? The
Shut
world
it.
may never know.
Oh yeah, and the 7th one was like a customizable case that I got off of Shutterfly. But so I decided that
I'd say let me borrow a few, but you know they don't fit.
when the theme from the Far From Home case expires, because apparently they expire, I don't know why. That's when I'll upgrade.
Hold up, so you're
And
telling
that's
me
next year in July.
Hold up, so you're telling me you spent X amount of dollars just for something to expire on you?
Precisely.
Something that's supposed to be permanent just says, you know what, I'm gonna head out.
Because
That doesn't make any sense.
well, it's a licensing thing. I just thought on it.
It's
you,
like
you know how when they had the Marvel games on the PlayStation online store for PS3 and Xbox Live, and then they just got removed for some reason, their license expired and they never renewed them. so you can't buy them digitally anymore from those storefronts. Which is really weird when they do stuff like that. I don't like
that is so dumb. I just like I'd understand if they say once we're out of cases, we're out of cases, but they're saying once you get to a certain time, it's just not gonna do what it's supposed to do.
I mean, that's not on Samsung though. That's on Marvel.
But how does that make the case appealing?
I mean, they do look great.
The case looks great, but it doesn't come with all the features that it's supposed to come with.
Well,
it just doesn't make any sense.
You are able to download all the images, but obviously you don't get all the animations and the aesthetics of the app,
which is really stupid.
The apps. Yeah. Not Samsung's problem though. Not their thing. That was the second thing. So I won't be upgrading until next year, which I planned on anyway. So it works out.
Well, now you know what you're upgrading to.
No, I won't. Next year is a whole different ball game. Do you see what's going on? Also,
Excuses.
The last thing, I didn't give Samsung enough criticism about the Fan Edition, which I actually apologize for. And that criticism comes from the fact that I want to address how phones were naturally priced at $700 and $750 at one point. Now, $700 is a steal, don't get me wrong. But had it been at $750, this criticism would have been more justified. It just kind of hurts when I see that we're getting excited for something like this being priced this way when this could have easily been the S20. But they're able to market it and get us all excited about something that should have been in the first place. No, I'm not going to admit. I mean, I am going to admit, had it not been for the case situation, I probably would have bought it. But
that was just so what exactly did they do wrong with the S20? It's a good thing I never looked too deep into that.
And
phone.
what I mean by that is, as usual, we're including features that we don't need or care for.
I mean, that's always going to happen.
And I've officially spent 8 minutes on a topic that isn't even part of the main topic today. So, we might be running over today, but it just depends. So I just wanted to note that I didn't give Samsung enough criticism. Okay? Now, the first topic we're going into today, as I told you from last episode, the OnePlus 8T. And to think I was going to do this episode on the 27th. Well, as we're recording this, the 28th, they have officially announced the OnePlus 8T launch event, which is occurring on October 14th at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific. So West Coast, you're going to have to be up a little early. I want to also get into the specs, because I'm not sure if I'm going to watch that. I don't usually watch OnePlus events. They're not that interesting to me, honestly.
Personally, I don't watch any events. It's just I'd rather read about the specs online versus...
The thing is...
Because it's like they're spending 30 minutes on something that I could spend 5 minutes to cover.
Yeah, but it's all about the hype up and all that. But the reason why we used to watch Samsung Unpacked was because it was more than just an event. It was an experience for everybody, even if you were just watching online. It was a great way to see the unveiling of so many different products, because Samsung doesn't only just do a phone at an Unpacked until recent, but that's understandable. They will reveal multiple devices to you on that day. But getting into the specs, let me scroll here. This is also coming from Tom'sGuide.com, so they might be a frequent source of mine. Let's see. believe I've lost the list. Okay, here we go. So the screen size is 6.55 inches.
That's kind of
big.
big.
We're starting off good. No. The Note 20 Ultra having a 6.9 inch screen. And don't quote me on that because I can't remember which phone that is. That's a big screen. One of the Galaxies have a big screen like that. 120 hertz refresh rate, which we did not expect.
Exactly, why is everyone going 120 hertz? Like, they do realize that you don't need half of that, right?
No, you do.
Well, you barely need half of that.
I just say it's not necessary past 90 hertz.
Right.
I don't get it. And since most developers aren't even heading for top specs on most of their apps, it doesn't matter about 120. That's why I say 90 is where it's at. It doesn't need to be that deep. 860 Snapdragon 865 Plus, of course.
Right.
8 gigabyte RAM. 128 gigabyte ROM. Of course, no micro SD card slot as usual. The rear cameras are 48 megapixel main camera.
Okay.
16 megapixel ultra wide. 5 megapixel macro, which I will never understand why they keep putting on these devices. Not everyone is a nature photographer. If you need a macro camera, buy a macro camera. Or put it on the pro version. Like this shouldn't be on the standard version phone. And a 2 megapixel portrait sensor. So I'm guessing that's like a depth camera. I don't understand why they had to make it sound fancy.
I don't understand either.
Front camera, 32 megapixels. Battery being at 4,500 milliamp hours, which seems to be the standard nowadays. I think everybody's going to start going for that. And
I mean, it makes sense. Get a couple hours in.
And as I told you off air before we started, 65 watts.
Yeah, that's still insane.
Fast charging. Yeah. Apparently there's going to be according to them, there's going to be an 8T Pro. I don't know about that. Because according to several leaks, they said that there wouldn't be a Pro version, which they really don't need. If you're doing an upgrade of this year's model, you don't really need.
I mean,
a Pro
how
version.
far can you upgrade the model any further? How it's just it's so stupid that it had me tongue twisted for a second.
Yeah.
There. Like,
I don't blame you.
It's 120 gigahertz refresh rate, 4,500 milliamp battery. Like why would you jump that to 144 gigahertz, 12 gigs RAM, or 16 gigs RAM?
Okay, so
it doesn't
what
make
you would
sense.
do to up that is put on it a 6.8 screen, 144 hertz, which nobody needs. Right?
That's what I just said.
We're gonna give it a 12 gigabyte RAM.
For no reason.
256 gigabyte storage. And then we're going to add a telephoto lens. We're going to put 5 cameras on the back. That's how you up that.
Actually,
Make
no,
it 5,000 milliamp hours.
Make it 6 cameras on the back.
Oh, you mean adding a monochrome camera too? The black and white? Okay,
exactly.
We'll do that too.
Yes.
And why add a wide angle camera onto the front? Why not?
And, you know what? Just because... We're not making it for the gaming community, but let's just add some air triggers onto it.
Why not?
Just why not?
Well, just throw it in. Oh god!
How much further up do you think you can go?
And it's always been hard for me to get excited about OnePlus devices. Admittedly, I've never been too keen of OnePlus. Because they tried to go the Samsung route at such an early stage.
What do you mean by the Samsung route?
They tried to differentiate themselves from stock Android. because a lot of people apparently like the stock Android experience, and they came up with their own skin called Oxygen OS, and they even had their own texting app.
That sounds so weird.
A little bit. I got used to it though, but apparently no one even used their texting app, so they reverted back to the Android messages.
MMS.
It brings RCS through Android messages. But now their message app is available in the Play Store for OnePlus devices. Don't ask me to go into it. Don't ask me to go into it.
So something that's supposed to be pre-installed, you have to go and download on your own. Now note that they're not doing that because of storage issues, because it is a 128 gigabyte phone. Mm-hmm. So what, may I ask, was your purpose?
I told you don't ask. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It sounds like they did really well on the hardware side, but they're still trying to figure themselves out in the software department.
I don't think they'll ever figure it out, and what I feel like they went wrong with was not listening to their fans when they told them we prefer the stock Android experience. They should have just left it alone. Your slogan is never settle, so why should I settle for you not listening to me as a customer? That's how I'm looking at it.
You said never settle, so I'm just going to head on over to Samsung, get myself an FE.
Uh-huh. Look at there. And all comes full circle.
Gotta get them.
I may have to break my own rule on the second episode, guys, because I also wanted to talk about this Lenovo gaming phone, but I also wanted to get... Yes, but trust me, it sounds promising. But I also wanted to get into this LG story because I didn't even know that much about it. I had to do more research for it, which I used to do on my first two podcasts. In case it doesn't seem like I'm prepared for this, I just see a podcast as a conversation, as I've said before. So I don't go by a script. That's why you're going to hear a lot of ums and
especially from me, who can't think fast. It just says the first thing on his brain.
Okay, so there's not really much for us to say about OnePlus. I mean, I'm not going to watch the event most likely, so I guess we'll just see it next month when we see it.
Yeah, just sounds like they're trying to sort themselves out, so we can see if they ever if they ever get it. You know?
Yeah.
Just have to keep up with it, I guess.
Actually, I told a fib. We will not be talking about Lenovo today. That is on my next episode. I've started noting everything down as well, guys, so I don't forget my episode ideas. It just came into my head.
You're building this up upon lies, and I don't like it.
Hey, I'm figuring things out. Just like they are.
Yeah, you need to figure out how to tell the truth.
Okay. See, you're not going to make me look bad on my show.
Why not?
Because that's not okay.
Except it is.
So, I'm not excited about the OnePlus 8T. Boo-hoo.
I can't say I'm excited about it either. It sounds like a nice phone, but it sounds like there's some ridiculous stuff going on behind the scenes, and I'm not here for it.
Crap, hold on. I didn't even get into the rumored price. I wanted you to guess that based on what I read to you.
Rumored price, I'd say $700 to $800.
Really?
Yep.
Final answer? Final answer?
Let me guess. The price is too small.
No, I'm saying, is that what you're going with?
That's
you
what
said
I'm going with.
800?
Is it 5G?
Yeah, it's the 865 Plus.
Okay, then I'd say 1K.
No, it's OnePlus, not Apple.
No, if it was Apple, I'd say 3K. But you know.
Okay. The rumored price is 600 euros. Believe it or not. And
that's really
euros
nice.
is close to American dollars, so
right.
It might be 600.
So it's around 650. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with this 120 gigahertz refresh rate on the screen, and you're dropping the price like that.
Well, again, the OnePlus phone is the T version of the OnePlus phone is usually cheaper than the regular version of the phone. So, like I said earlier, like it's not shocking that they're doing that. But we've spent entirely too much time on this nothing phone. I really wanted to get into the LG part because I feel like the old LG is coming back. Next up,
now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Definitely a good thing. They're getting back into their innovative phase, and I'll show you why. We're next getting into the LG Explorer project.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Alright, guys. Hopefully we don't go over today, but if we do, it'll be just a few minutes, so we'll be fine. But I definitely wanted to get into LG's Explorer project. And
Sounds fancy.
Why are you like this?
I just really wanted to say that. I don't know why.
You threw me off, man.
That's my job.
It's basically LG bringing their innovative ways back. But with current technology, they can pretty much do anything, and they're showing it. So,
are you talking about the LG Wing?
That is precisely what I'm talking about.
I actually know what's going on.
The first
everybody give me a hand clap.
Explorer project was the LG Wing. And I just want to get into the specs a little bit before I get into the marvels of the device. Okay, so the main part of the display is 6.8 inches OLED, of course, full HD screen, 20.5 by 9 aspect ratio, which is really weird. I don't know why they didn't go for the 21 like Sony does with their Xperia. I just want that film screen ratio so that I can enjoy films at their maximum capacity, the way they're meant to be watched. That would have been just perfect.
I thought the way they were meant to be watched was on a third-party website.
With a 60 hertz refresh rate.
Just gloss over what I said, huh?
So that helped keep the cost down when they made decisions like only full HD and only 60 hertz. So I am not hurt by that at all. Pun unintended. The secondary device, seeing as this is a swivel device, is 3.9 inches OLED. Also full HD. 1.15 by 1, so it'll look like a square to the average consumer, but not quite. But it is essentially a square.
So it is, but it isn't.
Right.
But it is.
Okay. And I'm guessing it also has 60 hertz because on this website, for some reason, Android Authority, it's not off. Unfortunately. The processor they chose to use the Snapdragon 765G again to keep costs down. It makes it way more affordable. I approve of it in every way.
That's my least favorite thing to ever see the budget be cut. Like the processing, it weirds me out.
You should get more into the processor specs because ever since they started their 700 series, it was like having a flagship experience. The average consumer is not going to know the difference between 765 and 865.
True, but the average consumer is also not going to be buying this phone.
That is very true. But techies also are aware that by them doing this makes it more accessible to even them. Not saying techies have all the money in the world. So they can
just
still
choose
be
to
innovative.
throw all the money in the world at technology.
They can still be innovative by being more affordable. And Samsung could have done this as well by offering a light version of the Fold, which was a rumor that was happening, but apparently that didn't pan out to be true.
I mean, but if they do a light version of the Fold, wouldn't that like defeat the process?
It would, essentially.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be like running a tablet or running a... It's supposed to be running like a tablet or like running a smaller laptop. So if you cut the processing in it, or if you cut anything in it, it just won't feel the same.
Yeah, of course, but again,
it's just like why even bother?
8 gigabyte RAM, 128 or 256 gigabyte ROM with expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. And we still don't even have a 2 terabyte SD card yet, and I don't think that's really coming anytime soon. That's really interesting that they're still like making that a thing.
They're running a terabyte. They're running a terabyte.
No, what I'm saying is you can put in a micro SD card.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like 1 terabyte micro SD card.
Right. 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And Quick Charge 4 Plus. I don't really know the standards behind that, so let me know how good.
Correction, let us know, because I don't know what that is either.
Well, I said let me know because you're not always here to read or indulge in the comments, but yeah.
Yeah, so that just means exclude me.
Essentially.
I just get left out of everything. It's not fair, man.
And the way you use the cameras is also so dope because when you swivel it out, it's on the main part of the body. So the camera itself, the camera itself doesn't swivel because it's on the back of the phone. And the secondary device is connected to the back.
Oh, okay, got you.
So it's basically like you having, kind of like the YouTuber setup, how they have their little vlogging sticks and such. But there's also a gimbal system in it, and what that means essentially is I dug myself in another hole, guys. I don't know how to explain it. But
don't get me excited into just not.
You should go and look it up on YouTube. It's very exciting. But you know how you can have the camera set up, right?
Right.
And without moving the phone,
the camera itself is moving
around.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It
that
has
is
a gimbal
pretty
system in it, and you use the secondary device to control the gimbal. So
that is well thought out.
So dope. Yeah, they thought about this. Trust me. And that's why I'm saying this Explorer project gets me going. The cameras, by the way, 64 megapixel main camera with 1.8 aperture. The secondary camera is a 13 megapixel ultra wide with a 1.9 aperture rate. And the third camera, another 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. What do they have going on here? I might have to come back to this.
Why have two of the same camera?
That might be.
It might be a typo. System. It might just be a typo.
No. They know what they're doing here. They have different specs and everything.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's a 12 megapixel versus the 13 megapixel. But that might be working together as the gimbal system because it makes sense.
So one goes left, one goes right.
It's not that cut and dry, but yeah, essentially. 2.2 aperture rate, and the front camera 32 megapixel with 1.9. It is compatible with Wi-Fi 5, not Wi-Fi 6, but that may have driven up prices, so I don't know. Bluetooth 5.1. Yeah, that's essentially it on that. But
I think that was smart, lowering the Wi-Fi and keeping the Bluetooth regular, because more people are likely to use Bluetooth versus more people are likely to care about Wi-Fi 6. Well,
mostly because we don't really have. I don't think Wi-Fi 6 is really that far spread out.
Yeah, that too.
Anyway. But this phone is so exciting for me because it just shows that LG knew that they needed to start something new. This is their revolutionary age. So the swivel really had me going because that is a productivity device right there. You got the secondary screen and you can do smaller tasks on it, while of course you got the top screen doing what you need to do. Someone, I can't remember which YouTuber, but someone displayed them watching a YouTube video and they're commenting while the video is still in full screen. I've always wanted to do that.
That sounds pretty crazy.
And now you can with the LG Wing.
Oh, you mean like the live chat?
Just any YouTube video. Doesn't matter about live chat either. Of course, it has other uses. Like, for example, someone was also showing like you could be watching Netflix for whatever reason, but you also have.
Why did you have to say it like that? Like, you're just saying it like you're watching Netflix. Like, why are you watching Netflix?
Hey,
you have no business on this app.
Basically, like how you can do on the Z Fold, right? You've got these different applications going on. Now, I'm not sure if you can have two apps open on the main display and then have a third thing going on the smaller display. I haven't seen that yet.
Or if it's just like if it's just multitasking with one top, one bottom.
I'm hoping they do allow two on the main display and then a third on the smaller one, because
I think it's a little bit too much.
I mean, that's normal stuff. That may be too much for the processor.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it may be too much on the processor and battery. But yeah, like say you're navigating Google Maps, you can have the music player going on the smaller display. Now, I don't know why they use that as an example. That's kind of bad because
why would you have GPS and music playing at the same time?
No, that is normal. However,
on the same device,
it's the fact that Google Maps has a built-in feature to where you can access the music player through Google Maps. You don't have to open up a separate app. Yeah,
I got you.
I don't get it.
I guess just the flex.
I don't know.
That's got to be all there is to it.
But yeah, it's a very innovative device. I love where they're going with this. This is better than the Duo case that they have going on, to where it has a secondary screen in it, but it's powered by the actual phone. It's kind of like the Surface Duo.
Speaking of cases, I'm curious to see how they plan on doing the case for the LG Wing.
Oh yeah, someone mentioned that. I don't know.
Because that seems kind of weird. It's like, is the case going to be on the back of the actual phone and not touch the main display?
No clue.
Or does the case have to swivel itself?
But I should also note that the front camera is pop-up. So yes, they do have fall detection on that and everything. And the swivel has been tested over 200,000 times. So you can keep the phone for up to 5 years without any mechanical problems on average use. So that is very promising as well. And I can't remember what system they're using to keep the secondary display from scratching, but it's really intuitive. I'm telling you, they thought about this. I love
it. Might just be the material on the back of the main display.
Oh, of course. I just can't remember what they called it. But it's really promising. But that's not all. See, you thought you knew what was going on here.
No, I actually thought you were going to say, but wait, there's more? And then you disappointed me.
Nah, I'm not basic like that. I'm different.
And that's the problem.
LG teases an extendable slide-out display for its next Explorer Project phone. So essentially, we are going back to the days where you slide out the keyboard with physical keys and type on the screen.
It's going to be physical?
Both of them are touch
digital?
screens this time.
I actually kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. Actually, it just...
It's really disappointing to see this stuff because this is the sort of stuff that Samsung teased that they would eventually do way back in 2011, 2012. They said they were going to be the ones to do this stuff.
Years later. I guess they got caught up in themselves.
I mean, things change. They probably had to change direction.
Right.
Especially when they saw that this folding business was not as simple as they thought it was going to be.
Honestly,
it took them so many years.
If I'm going to be honest, I thought Motorola was going to beat everyone to it.
Ooh, how you figure that?
After they made... What's the name of that phone? The last actually good phone that they made.
Yeah. What would that be? I'm not trying to discredit Motorola. The Z4 was good. But I want to know what he's talking about.
That right there. After they made that, I thought,
right.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go in the direction of innovation and they were gonna be the first ones to beat everyone back to that. Because when they made that phone, it just seemed like they were trying to prop themselves back up, and then they just, made that one good phone, and I haven't heard anything else from them since.
Well, they did, but Motorola was going through a lot of hell back then. To the point where Lenovo, when they owned them, they wouldn't even allow themselves to call themselves Motorola. They had to distance themselves. They were only allowed to go by Moto. That's why all the different campaigns came out. Yeah, Hello Moto. That's where that came from. They became Moto. They were no longer Motorola. They were trying to rebrand them so that they could come back. And they did. They came back strong. I think
they really
no
did.
one can outpace Motorola when it comes to modular devices. They did it the best way possible. You cannot fight them.
Yeah, which is why I thought they were going to be the first ones to bring something like that back, or be the first ones to do something like the LG Wing, and they just disappointed me.
Well, I mean, it was really up to Microsoft to fund that, because I believe Microsoft owns them now. So it was kind of on them. Yeah. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't follow Motorola, guys, so let me know if I'm wrong. Oh my god. Look at the time. But
is it time to wrap this up?
Nope.
Oh,
we're having fun here.
There's more?
No. It's just that we haven't talked about the slide out, really.
Oh,
we went off into a tangent.
Right.
So, according to this article, LG's official reveal of its Twisting Wing smartphone had a marvelous post-credit scene. A teaser of the next phone in its new Explorer project range, which appears to have an expandable slide-out display. Yeah. The clip, as spotted by CNET, doesn't offer a lot of information, just a brief shot of the side of the phone expanding out and sliding back before it lights up. And a hold your breath catchphrase appears, followed by the LG Explorer project logo. But the message is clear, LG is at least thinking about a sliding display for a future device. So it sounds like they're not coming out with it until next year, which is good for the Wing. The Wing needs its time to shine right now.
That plus, this isn't something they can rush. That needs to be in development.
Definitely not. I would be very disappointed seeing what they did with the Wing, and they dare rush something like this. Never.
Nope.
I don't want to see that. I mean, there isn't much to talk about here, but
there's not much to go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything in there.
But the excitement is there.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely will be looking out for this one, because I really do miss those days where you used to kick out the keyboard, man. Those were the days. What would be optimal sizes for these screens, though?
I'd say 6 inches.
That sounds too small.
No, because, you have to start small if you want to expand.
What you mean?
I mean, if they do this, they could potentially make it a line of phones. So they have to kind of downplay it so that way they can upgrade.
I don't know if that's exactly their plan. I think they want to see at least how it performs.
Right.
But I just really don't see it as...
That's what I'm saying as well.
...continuous thing necessarily. I think they're going to...
Not just how it performs, but how it sells. And they can't just, pour everything into it and it stays on the shelves, which is why I'm saying 6 inches would be pretty good for it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's 2 displays.
Yeah.
Both 6 inches each. That's 12 inches. That's pretty big.
Because even as the Velvet was announced and released, I thought LG was on their way out of the smartphone ecosystem. It just seemed like they didn't know what they were doing. They were just lost.
They were leading us on.
Apparently. I'm hoping they don't stop this hype train for me, man. It's starting up. The coal is getting chucked in.
I mean, they were leading us on. Well, I can't really say that because, again, the LG Velvet is a really good phone and easily one of the best looking phones for me personally.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see a problem with it.
No.
I see what you're saying, though, how they were kind of, acting like they were confused as to where they were going.
Yeah.
But it was all an act. Like, I feel like they were really trying to get us to feel some sort of pity,
what's weird?
or trying to not expect, so that way they can come out with a bigger bang. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like LG was one of the first, if not the first, lower OEMs to realize they're never gonna match up to where Samsung and Apple is. So we're gonna back off, and that's why they came out with the Velvet. They just dropped the G line, and what they did with the Velvet was they made it a mid-range. It's
right.
Literally $600 for a 5G version at T-Mobile. That is affordable. That is what everyone should be fighting after right now.
I might need to get that as a secondary phone. Because that phone is beautiful.
Yeah, it just
I will
seems
not
like,
stop saying that.
And I won't disagree, but it just seems like they were the first ones to catch on. I like how I'm realizing stuff.
I'd be the kind of person to buy the phone just so I can put it in a glass case and look at it. Not even to use it, just to look at it. Like, yes, this phone is magnificent.
I'm all for marveling tech, but I don't think I could resist, honestly. It just looks so chic.
No, that's exactly why I have to resist. I don't want to damage that. I need to be able to just look at it and be like, this phone is beautiful.
But then I feel like they're also dropping the V line because they didn't come out with the V phone this year.
Maybe what it is that
I think they're completely rebranding themselves.
I mean, it might just be that they're dropping all these lines so that they can make the money and make the time for their Explorer project.
Well, they did make an announcement about a year or so ago that they were going to stop making phones every year. There may have been a mistranslation. So they may have said, we're going to stop making as many phones every year.
Right.
And I'm hoping that this is the result of that. Because I love this Explorer project. I will fully support that. If they keep on with how they're doing the Velvet, I will fully support that. But ever since the G5, I was like, LG's not going to last much longer. And here they are. Thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you guys for hearing us ramble on as much as we did in the first episode. And I hope you like this one just as much as the last.
Just as much in this episode,
exactly.
Too. So
new rule, if I do have a guest on, The new limit will be 45 minutes because I don't like containing what we feel like we need to discuss. It's not exactly fair. I don't like that. If you want to be directly part of the conversation and have your voice be heard, send in voice messages to Anchor or comment on your platform of choice if it allows so. We are now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Overcast, Spotify.
That's a lot of cast.
And more to come. I really do appreciate you guys for listening to our first episode. As of the recording of this, we are currently at 17 listens, and that's something for me. That really means a lot to me and Taj. So thank you. Tune in next time for when we have the Lenovo phone, the Lenovo gaming phone, and we will be discussing what has been announced about Amazon Luna, the gaming platform from the ever-growing company Amazon.
Ooh, I kind of want to be here for that one.
We will try to work on that, but I do record 2 episodes a week, as I've said. So I may have to phone you in, but we'll see. I have been J-Law.
I have been Taj.
And you have just listened to another episode of Reality Tech. Thanks for listening. So I've made the conscious decision that in order for there to be better chances of Taj's schedule lining up with mine, we will have next episode be the Pixel event, made by Google event, as I said I would cover anyway, so it works out. And then episode 4 will be about Lenovo's gaming phone and Amazon Luna.
Yeah, so basically this man over here just decided to lie to you guys.
Okay.
Yep.
See, we're not doing this.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Yep.
You're so immature.
I prefer the term childish. Wait, no, that's worse.
Quiet. I can easily do a switcheroo.
Hold on, guys. I gotta find a better word. Scanning vocabulary.
So, hope you guys aren't waiting on that Amazon and Lenovo news, because I'm not too hyped about it, admittedly, but
I am.
Taj wanted to talk about Amazon Luna, so I'm really doing this for him.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the Made by Google event, though, because again, it's not just about the Pixel phones here.
Refreshed.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. We're going with that one.
Thanks, guys.